Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Monday, January the 23rd. And welcome to our commentary. Just a heads up, as we do every Monday, we will be recording a podcast with our friend Bill Katz, the editor of Urgent Agenda. We're going to get into a lot of the topics, including more documents. But the question that I want to pursue with Bill today is the timing of these documents. Why is it that all of a sudden these documents show up in, I guess, September and October? What's going on? I mean, I know there's a lot of speculation that they want to get rid of Joe Biden or President Biden. That may be what's behind this. But I've also heard some speculation that there may be something about Hunter Biden, or that he may be in the middle of all of this, because as you know, he's under investigation. So I have no idea what it is, but it is surprising to me that they would all of a sudden show up in September and October, these documents, that is. Now, that leads me to another question, and that is, would the Attorney General have sent the FBI to President Trump's home if he had known or had any information that President Biden was going to have his own document problem? My answer to that is no. No, I don't think he would have sent the FBI. So when the Attorney General sent the FBI in August, I think he thought that this was going to be a case against Trump and that they were going to use this information against Trump. And as it turns out, now he's got a document problem with his own President Biden. So it's just interesting. Where did this come from and who's behind this? I've heard people like Hugh Hewitt. Hugh, of course, is a talk show host, but he's also an attorney. He's a law professor. And he's asking the question whether there's a subpoena behind all of this, a subpoena for these documents. And where did that subpoena come from? And that, of course, is where the Hunter Biden speculation is coming from. So we will know. We will know sooner rather than later about all of this. But these discoveries of documents are not making President Biden look real good. And they must be causing a lot of headaches for the Attorney General, because now he cannot distinguish between these two men. He has to treat both of them the same. And that is a problem that I don't think he envisioned back in August when he sent the FBI into President Trump's home. So documents. That's the name of the show today. So we'll talk about the documents. We'll talk about Davos, where they get together every year. We'll talk about New York. New York is losing a lot of people. It's amazing. Well, we'll talk about the leaker of the Supreme Court. Where is the leaker? Crazy. Where's the leaker? How can you have a leak of a document like this and nobody knows who the leaker is? So something's going on there. So tune in to our podcast. It'll be uploaded later this afternoon, early evening Monday. Please forgive me. I'm fighting a few allergies going around the Dallas area this time of the year. So forgive my voice and forgive me if I have to every once in a while pause for my allergies. I have a post over at the American Thinker today about Representative Santos. You know, this is the guy from New York who has sort of become it seems like every day there's a new story about this guy. And much of it has to do with the fact that he has been enhancing his resume. You know, he decided to run for office, and he said all kinds of things that apparently are not true. I don't live in the district, so I cannot, confirm one way or another. But apparently, the allegation is that he wrote a lot of crazy. He wrote things or put things in his resume, as they like to say, that are not exactly true. So, in my post over at the American Thinker today, I am recommending that Representative Santos switch parties, that he goes over to the Democrats and he becomes a Democrat, because he's going to feel right at home. I mean, you've got President Biden making up all kinds of things about his past. You have Elizabeth Warren, who made up her entire Native American background. You have Senator Blumenthal, I think of Delaware or Connecticut, who made up his military service. So, a lot of things in that party where there's a lot of people with a little history of making up things. So I think Senator or Representative Santos should say, I'm moving over there and I'm going to become a Democrat because he's going to fit right in with these people that I just mentioned. Sorry for a minute. There go my allergies again. Thanks for your patience. So I think that's what I'm recommending. I'm recommending that he switches party, he becomes a Democrat, and just let's get this issue out of the way. It's not that big of an issue. It's a district issue. It should be settled by the voters. I'm not saying that I support the allegations. I mean, if he made up all these things, he's got to be held accountable at some point. But again, it's something for the district to figure out. And this obsession that the media has with this guy is honestly not worth the time. It's up to the district. That's what and the political party in New York. I mean, the Republicans in New York are going to have to figure out what to do with this guy. Oh, by the way, somebody told me, thanks. No problem. We all get the sniffles. Yes, I got them. So thank you for your patience on that. Well, one of the big things this weekend, of course, was the NFL, these amazing games that we had a chance to watch. You know, I keep saying that the NFL right now, and I'm a bigger baseball fan than I am football fan, but nevertheless, I love the NFL. They're probably a close second. But the NFL right now is like on top of the game. I mean, things are going very well. You got 4 teams or 4 games this weekend. And if you look at these 8 teams that we're playing this weekend, they're absolutely great quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, exciting teams, very athletic teams. I mean, they're just a lot of fun to watch. So the league is a lot of fun to watch these days. And that's what we saw this weekend. Now, I came 3 out of 4 with my predictions. I predicted Philadelphia, they won. I predicted Kansas City, they won. I predicted San Francisco, they won. Even if they defeated my Cowboys, they did win. I thought they would win, honestly. But I predicted Buffalo and Cincinnati won. Now, those 2 teams, Buffalo and Cincinnati, I did say in my prediction that game could go either way because those are 2 of the best and youngest teams in the NFL. I mean, you got 2 great quarterbacks at those 2 teams. But Cincinnati won. And I guess the exciting thing about that game is that they were playing in the snow. And I remember when we first came to the United States, we lived in Wisconsin. And I remember we used to watch a lot of games in the snow, whether it was the Packers in Chicago, Detroit, or whatever. There were tons of games in the snow. And we used to love that. In fact, my brother and I would often watch the Packers play in the snow and then go outside and play in the snow ourselves. It was one of the most exciting things to do, to play football in the snow, except my mother wasn't crazy about it. So when we came back from playing out there in that mud and all that snow, my mother would say, okay, before you hit my carpet, you take off whatever you have. So we would literally undress, before we came into I guess we were coming in through the kitchen before we went into the house. And there we were, a couple of, 12, 13-year-old kids in their underwear running to the bathroom because my mother would not allow us to come in and walk around the house with all that mud on our shoes and our uniforms and so on. But it was a lot of fun to watch football in the snow. And this weekend, we got a little taste of that in Buffalo. So the NFL right now has 4 very exciting teams going to the finals. You got Buffalo, Cincinnati and Kansas City. My guess is that one of those 2 teams is going to win the Super Bowl. And then over here, you've got Philadelphia and San Francisco, 2 very good teams. I'm going to say Philadelphia is going to win because they looked awfully sharp the other night. And I'm going to say Kansas City is going to win, but I may take that back before the end of the week because Cincinnati looked awfully good. But the bottom line is that the NFL right now is in excellent shape in terms of its product. I mean, they got other problems, but in terms of the product that they put on the field and the product that they put on TV, the NFL right now is in as good a shape as I've ever seen the league in. I mean, it's fabulous. It's fabulous, the product that they're putting out there. And that, of course, for people like me who love to watch a good game and love to watch the competition, is a very good thing. Now, here in Dallas, sorry for a second. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you again. Here in Dallas, of course, the Monday morning after the game, quarterbacking begins. And, there's, if you listen to the local talk radio, they're killing the Cowboys. As I said, I did not expect the Cowboys to win. I thought San Francisco was better. And I thought the Cowboys defense actually played a very good game. When you hold a team like San Francisco to 19 points, that's a pretty good day. Unfortunately, the Cowboys only scored 12. And that was one touchdown and then three extra points. But no, one touchdown and two extra points and two field goals. I'm sorry, one touchdown and two field goals. So it was a 19-12 game that the Cowboys could have won, but they were outsmarted, I think, by the 49ers, who were just a little bit better. So the Cowboys have to do a little bit of thinking now in the offseason. What's going to happen to Prescott, the quarterback? I don't know. He didn't have a good game. He's been very inconsistent throughout his whole career. That's his problem. And I think you have to wonder right now with, Prescott about age 30, are the Cowboys going to start planning for the future? I don't know. I hope so. Because, I think Prescott may have 2 or 3 more good years in him, but he may not. He may not even last that long. When you're 30 years old in the NFL, you start getting older. That's just the nature of the league. So anyway, let me remind you to check out our podcast with Bill Katz, the editor of Urgent Agenda. We'll record it in the afternoon, and I usually upload it in the evening. It'll be available on my blog, and it's going to be available on Blog Talk Radio. And I hope you enjoy it, because we're going to get into a lot of political stuff with our friend Bill. Thank you for listening. Everybody have a wonderful day. This is Silvio Canto, and we'll talk to you later. And I hope your team wins next weekend. I hope it does. Bye-bye, everybody.